Welcome back to another epic but chaotic game of Beyond All Reason, brothers. In this match, we got a 4v4 on the deserted wasteland planet drier than my wallet. If you guys are new here, it'd mean a lot if you smash that like button and subscribe to help push us into the algorithm. As that guy, he's a tough boss to beat. But here, let's break down each team so we know exactly who we're dealing with. On the bottom side of the map, we got the yellow player, Tamorfex, a yellow Cortex commander opening up bots. The right hand man, plus another Cortex enjoyer also opening up bots as well. And then Cranky Clanker Armada and another Armada player. We're going to be watching red side, see exactly what they try and do to push themselves to victory and see if they can stop the blue menace from taking over the map. On a map like this, there's two hard choke points. These are stopped by land. You also have some water here where certain units can pass through, such as a commander or tier 2 units can generally pass through this deeper set of water, where lightly armored units, like this little pond, has to go to the shallower part to get through, meaning you can use this as a nice chokehold to further your aggression onto each side of your opponent's map. For blue team, they want to hold these choke points extremely well and prevent any leakages. As in a game like Beyond All Reason, well, units kill things extremely fast, as both sides have paper thin armor for structures, walls, and all the above. And units, well, they hit like a glass cannon, so letting anything slip by your defenses could mean GG at a moment's notice. That's why we see boys here trying to get up a nice solid defense of laser turrets to stop anything from sneaking by. Meanwhile, on the northern side of the map, we have Emperor Nox looking to push dangerously deep into red territory as 3 blitzes look to walk up and chow that man head first. But with a quick D-gun, they get sent back to the factory in pieces. A70 here looking just to hold the high ground and not let anyone pass him, as the high ground and Beyond All Reason is extremely strong. You get increased accuracy while shooting down a hill and decreased accuracy while shooting up a hill. Translation: pushing into a well defended area on top of a mountain cliff could mean the end of your operation. We got 2 commanders at the moment looking for a bit of a commander trade here, as they both will blow up if they end up going down here. A couple of D-guns to boot. This man's really trying to end Blue's operation on the northern side of the map, as now the blitzes look to swoop in and cut off Blue's reinforcements. This could be a massive blunder by the blue team, as when units die, they leave behind a massive amount of metal, about 70 to 80% total of what they cost. But here's the catch: commanders, well, they leave behind 1.2k metal a pop. That's what I call free real estate. This is why we see blue and red team now converging on this point, as they're both fighting over this field. But Emperor scared to push in further, as red has too much of a heavily fortified position, meaning the blitzes are looking to get some damage on the opposite side here, but they will get cleaned up by the pawns, but not before they do a bit of damage, as the northern flank seems to have calmed down. Let's jump back down to the southern flank, as we've given this no love, and let me tell you, it needs some loving. Down here we have the classic walls getting set up, mixed in with the rocket bots. Rocket bots are extremely good at sieging down a fortified position, but very bad at pushing in by themselves, as they're slow, makes them very immobile and easily can get swarmed if out of position, meaning they're best suited for these slower and more heavily fortified choke points. And that's exactly what we see here. Both teams using a rocket bot to shell away and try and poke and prod until one side eventually collapses. Let's check in on Cranky Clanker though. This man has a 7 wall of turrets here holding down his right flank, preventing purple from getting any funny ideas. This could be really bad for our green commander, as he could be easily sandwiched between two players if purple is caught sleeping at the wheel. As we go back to the northern flank to see what has exactly transpired since the corpses have been eaten alive. That metal buffet filled orange to the brim. That man is feeling good, as he is now able to do a plethora of things. Let's go back to his base and see exactly what he chose to spend that additional amount of metal on. First, it looks like he got a couple more construction turrets, and he's still sitting on tier 1. When you're given access to 3,000 metal, sometimes players like to go tier 2. It looks like no one on the side of red team has gotten their tier 2 army up, but it has looked like pink and red have combined forces, and they are looking to push in and end green's career. But purple, well, he has a good idea to help. The incisors and stoots heavily counter this army right now of rocketeers and centurions, but he's not looking to fight a head-on fight. This man is looking to go through the shadow water and get some backline damage, as red is going tier 2. This could be a catastrophic push from purple, as red does not have the units to stop this. These incisors, these stoots melt through the rocketeers like a hot knife through butter, and there is nothing standing in their way from dealing devastating damage to red team. My man desperately trying to get up turrets, trying to fortify his position. But purple has already entered in the building. This is no longer a run by, but a home invasion. The beamer gets up just in the nick of time, but not before he snipes the tier 2 lab, snipes the geothermal plant. The economic damage is through the roof, meaning red just got set back to the Stone Age, and this man, once commanding lead on his flank, now reduced to dust, as purple devastated his economy, devastated his tier 2 production. But what does this mean for blue team? It means they could go tier 2 on their own, or look to eco up, as they bought themselves a lot of time. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're putting the pedal to the metal, as every flank is continuing to fight endlessly. War is upon us, and war is looking to be the answer. Orange here desperately trying to hold his northern flank. This is looking quite scary, as blue's armada of tier 1 units is too much to bear for our orange commander, as his onslaught is in fact relentless, skating past orange's defenses. This man thought he was building a forward base, but in reality orange was building himself a nice graveyard, as his units have become environmental storytelling, and blue has regained his position on the northern flank. This is massive for the blue team. They needed this to come back, as every moment that passes and you're not getting metal, you're not dealing damage, is a moment you're falling behind. Because in a game like Beyond All Reason, there is exponential scaling. That's why we see all these wins coming up for both teams. Even though they don't need the energy, you can convert that energy into more metal later on, and that scaling gets so powerful as the game progresses that you don't even need metal extractors eventually. Now that's in about a 30-40 minute game, and we're only 10 minutes in, and both teams have only lost one commander, meaning this game could go on for easily another 10 to 20 minutes depending on how each side decides to play it, as no one has done enough damage to get themselves a commanding lead. But never mind, we have Ta, the yellow commander, deep into blue's base. This man just waltzed in, and the floodgates have been opened, as blue's base, his safety house, is looking to be his last tombstone. As the winds are falling, blue's economy is in shambles, but luckily for him, his teammates are locked in, as the dark blue commander holding the left flank strong. The bottom of the map is still in favor of blue as well. They're only really leaking down the middle, But that middle damage is absolutely devastating to their economy and their position on the map, as this opens up a multitude of flanking angles from red, as they're able to do a vast majority of different strategies now. But something that did happen is the commander fell, meaning there's 1.2k metal on the line, and whoever can reclaim that will definitely look to decide the game. Green on the bottom of the map is cooking hard, as now he has access to tier 1 light mobile artillery. This artillery has good splash damage and a lot of range, meaning the bots have now been outscaled. And a good way to think about beyond all reason unit types is bots are tier 1 and vehicles are kind of like 1.4 in terms of power. They just trade more efficiently across the board. But when it comes to tier 2, well, tier 2 hounds from the red team, well, they'll make short work of any tier 1 units. So that means the artillery investment from the green commander was looking to be rather profitable. But sadly, the tier 2 has come online for red team, meaning this base is all but over. As the commander tries to run away, tries to flee for his life, but the hounds, well, they smell blood in the water. As the commanders fall, so does the hopes and dreams of blue team, as the southern flank has been all but over. But hold on, we told a lot about the south. The north is cooking up something fierce, as purple and blue are looking to reinstate themselves into the map. They have not given up hope, as there is a massive reclaimed field here on the northern side. 3,000 metal to be gained, to be plundered. But the squadron of blitzes are killing the reclaimed bots from blue team, preventing anyone from salvaging that reclaimed field and looking to dominate the northern flank once again. But blue has so much money right now, they're actually leading the economy out of sheer force of willpower. But they're on a timer, as red is pushing deep into their territory. Light blue is already out of the game. Green going for an ambitious tier 2 lab. I'm gonna keep it 100, boys. I don't think that one's coming up, as it's been completely surrounded by the pinks units. Tier 2 would be nice and absolutely clutch in this position and a way to get back into the game. But with the clock ticking, each second is important. Each second matters for blue, as if they can buy enough time or halt the push and look to kill this army, well, they would have a massive reclaimed field at their fingertips. And let me tell you, their fingertips would be more greasy than your boy after he ate a KFC bucket of fried chicken. Absolutely finger licking good. Just like this battle. As the squads look to slowly push down, the hounds looking to finally end blue's career, as tier 1 just can't keep up with hounds. Think of the hounds as like a tier 1 killer. They just don't stand a chance. They can't move fast enough to get on top of the hounds, while the hounds outrange them and have massive splash damage, something tier 1 units desperately hate. So it doesn't matter if your economy is higher, if you have more units. If you don't have tier 2 at this point, well, it's pretty much game over. As red's looking to do the final swarm, smother blue, as the tier 2 lamb is looking to come online for blue team. But it looks like it might be a little bit too late, as the fires roar. A commander has dropped down, and that's going to be all she wrote, as the final commander goes up in flames. And red team with a commanding yet satisfying victory. If you guys are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know who you guys thought was the match MVP. For your boy, I gotta give it to the red team. This man took some damage early on, but he was able to clutch it up with that tier 2 transition.